All right. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. She Raises Studios is officially live. It's awesome to see everyone here on the back end. I'm so excited to be here and then also kick off another day of the Becoming an Unstoppable Woman holiday virtual book tour. Today's going to be a little bit different in the sense of what we're talking about. It is about women in business. So, most of us here in this book, in the first book, Becoming an Unstoppable Woman, are women in business. So, it works out perfectly. We're going to talk about some advice, some strategies, and some tips. So I will go ahead and who should we pick on first today?
Well,
Um,
wait. Before you do that, wait. So,
okay,
for
okay,
the
okay.
first time ever, we have one of our co authors for the first time ever on the screen with us, like on the big screen, making her debut. And I'm just so happy she's here because she's real, people. She's real. Hi, Sarah. How the heck are you?
I am fabulous. I am fabulous.
It's like a dream come true on so many levels.
For both of us.
I'm so glad you made it today.
Me too. Thank you.
So what we can do is like what Adriana was saying, we're gonna talk about business. Why would you want to be in business? You're getting to see the co-authors of this amazing book, and so I think we should start off with who we are and what we do, and then we can circle back around and talk about some of the nuggets we're going to give away today. So,
Well,
Adriana, back to
yep.
you.
She Raises Studios. Well, I mean, it's growing. It started off as a free community group to help women in all portions of their lives. We really wanted to reach women who were going through things that felt kind of impossible for them in the sense of just navigating through everyday life, whatever that meant for them. So we all struggle with mindset issues, things that have to do with our appearance, maybe, or going through maybe abuse in some way, shape, or form, to just dealing with work and then coming home to our at home lives, our family and all that kind of thing. Not even forgetting, so like illnesses and just everything that you can think of. Having that support system in place is crucial in order to have a healthy mindset, so that way we can heal our bodies and our minds and have the most successful version of ourselves. So it started off that way, and it kind of grew and flourished into something where we became a global network for women. And we really tried to help women come from like their average selves or maybe even below average selves, and they're trying to work their way up because they know that they have it within themselves, and give them a platform. So every woman deserves to have a voice and share their voice and share what it is that they're going through and be celebrated and educated throughout that. So we have our podcast, our amazing podcast. We have our TV show that's going to be launching in the beginning of this coming year in 2022, as well as a magazine. So that's going to be awesome. It's going to be a monthly issue going on there. And we have obviously our book publishing stuff that we've been doing. So our Becoming an Unstoppable Woman book series, but also the movement itself. Did I miss anything, ladies?
Just who
No?
you are and what you do.
Oh, well, I'm co-founder of She Raises Studios, also CEO. A little bit of my background comes from being a web and graphic designer for about 9+ years. And I've just kind of done everything in between of that. So social media, coming up with different kind of game plans when it comes to marketing stuff. So I really do consider myself a jack of all trades in a sense when it comes to things behind the screen, social media design, and kind of business creation almost. And I've had so many different ideas and just try to practice implementing what I learned into the different companies that I've had a chance to work for previously. So I had a very special and have a very special job because I get to interact with other kinds of businesses. So it feels as though I have been in those kind of businesses. So anyways, I'm just grateful to be here. So thank you all. Let's get to Nicole. Who are you?
Well,
What do you
hello.
do?
How are you? How is everybody? It's Monday. Yeah. So I'm Nicole Curtis. I'm the COO of She Rises Studios. And yeah, for one, I'm just so excited to be here, to be in the presence of all of you beautiful, wonderful, inspiring women, and being part of the Become an Unstoppable Woman book collaboration. It's been such an amazing, awesome journey for myself, and I believe for everybody that's here tonight, today, this afternoon, speaking in front of you. So a little bit of background of me. I'm a powerhouse mindset coach for high achieving women, and I help them destroy their self-destructive thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. And a little, I guess, recent background is I just joined the She Rises Studios tribe. The duo came trio just recently, and my background online for the last 3 years before was I was a social media agency owner, and so I've evolved, my business grew, changed, developed, and then I am so honored and excited to be able to be part of the She Rises Studios team. And the Adriana and Hannah are beautiful inside and out. They have a vision and a passion and a purpose in this world. And it's to serve and love, to celebrate, to empower women all over the world, to help them rise, lead, and live in life and business. And it's just such an amazing opportunity to be able to sit alongside of these beautiful brains and be part of the collaboration over competition. And that's what we're here for She Rises Studios, as well as these women here on the screen with us today to share not only their beautiful selves, but what their purpose and passion about in their life and what they're doing to help change women's lives around the world.
Wow. Anybody want to go after that?
Can I pick Sarah?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. I am so happy to be here. I am Sarah Martinez. I am one of the co-authors, obviously, and I am a transformational travel specialist or retreat specialist. I absolutely love what I do. I have been in the travel industry for 17 years, and I fell in love with it the first day that I started working in it. And the fact that I get to live my dream job and soul's purpose every day is just, it lights me up. It has been part of the reason why I haven't been able to be on live. Have had some things shifting and doing lots of traveling, and but I am really, really excited to be here. I believe in transformational travel because I believe that when women come together and they surround themselves with like-minded women, that the shifts that can happen in a short period of time in a changed environment can absolutely change their lives in that moment forever. And I believe I've believed from when I was a young girl that I'm here to change the world. And as I got older, I was like, how am I going to do that? And I literally believe that through my work, the ripple effect that happens through transformational travel can change the world. And so that is my passion. It's my soul's purpose. It is who I am and who I am so grateful that I get to be in this lifetime.
I just have to say, I live vicariously through your travels.
Come along
everything. I'm trying, trust me.
I know you will. I know.
It's
Can't wait.
It works. Who's next, Adriana?
Oh, let's go with Eileen.
Good morning from where I am in Manila. Hi, ladies. Hello to all our viewers. My name is Aileen Sikat, and I've been reinventing myself constantly over the past decades. For over a decade, I was a lawyer, and then for another maybe half a decade, I was a lawyer slash law professor. And then I decided to embrace my intuitive side. So now, in addition to doing those other old stuff part-time, I identify myself as a spiritual life coach, as a tarot coach, and it's still constantly evolving. I'm also a Reiki practitioner, an energy healer. I do numerology, astrology, readings with runes. But no matter how you want to call it, my main goal is to help empower women into making the best choices for themselves. If we do it through the use of astrology, fine. If you want cards, fine. If all you need is energy healing, that works. If you want a combination, or if you leave it up to my recommendation after I get to know you a little, I might use a combination of what I think can help you most based on your beliefs, your goals. So that's what I do. And now I'm very happy that I get to do that over Zoom, video or audio, or via email. So I can do it for women from all over the globe, not just from my own country. And it has really helped me grow as a person. For a long time, I was scared to embrace the intuitive side because being a lawyer, being a professor in law school, I was scared to be judged. But I took a leap of faith and there's no looking back. Judge me if you want. That's what I tell people. I'm happy with what I do. I know I'm doing my best and I know my intentions are pure. And in the end, that's all that matters. And that's what I do. I'm in the early stages. I had just taken a leap of faith and gone part-time with my professorial job. I gave up tenure because I wanted to pursue my dream. I'm also a writer, and in addition to spiritual matters, I write about young adult stuff, young adult fiction. So maybe later on, you'll also get to know that side to me. And I'm very happy to be aligned with all these successful, wonderful, inspiring sisters of mine. Do I get
Thank
the
you,
pick?
Eileen. I love it.
May I call on just the one nearest me geographically, Miss Natalie of Australia.
Lovely. Thanks, Aileen. Hello, everybody. Yes, I bring the Aussie accent to the group. I love being part of this co-authors group, this anthology. When we did our first live, I think I mentioned that every book should be an anthology because I think it's a really great way to get published and get your message out there without carrying the whole burden yourself. We all work together and contribute to the content, but also to promoting and sharing the news about the book. So really loving being in this space with all the great co-authors and also loving bringing an Aussie voice to the group as well. So yes, I am in Melbourne, Australia. I am an entrepreneur, been an entrepreneur for nearly 30 years. I've founded multiple businesses. 6 and 7 figure businesses. We often talk about the money, but really the focus that I like to work with is helping people to find their version of success and living the dream. And that's the name of my chapter in the book. I've also been a business mentor for around 12 years. So I get to work with great business owners who are wanting to take their business to the next level. And through my own lived experience with all of those businesses, all of them come from my passions, and being able to turn those into a business. And in my chapter, which is called Living the Dream, I do share about how I've loved business since I was a little girl. Like even at elementary school, I'd play business and convince the other kids to play businesses with me. And I think business is creative. Often people say that, you know, to be good in business, you need to be organized, but that's not being creative. But I think if you can take an idea and turn it into something that benefits everybody, including people who buy and sell in that group, then that's something that's really creative. And I love being able to work with business owners to help them do that. And particularly, I think in business, it can be very lonely. We get very lonely as business owners, and bringing in a mentor and me being able to work with those businesses to help move them to the next level is really important. And that mental health aspect and that feeling of support and guidance, I think, is really important for business owners. And what I really learnt in my own journey is that becoming an unstoppable or living the dream is less about hard work, and it's more about following the joy and learning how to prioritize yourself in your own decisions first. I didn't get that right in my first business. I was prioritizing everybody else. I share that in my chapter. But prioritizing yourself first is the important process in decision making, and then you'll make the best decisions for you and then others as well. So I love being a writer in this co-author and anthology, and I love sharing those stories and helping people to take their business from just surviving to thriving. So, cool. Good. Shall I nominate somebody else? I think I see somebody in Northern Ireland down on the bottom of the screen there. Jennifer, do you want to jump in?
Hello, thanks very much, Natalie. Yes, I'm Jennifer from Lady Rebel Club, and I love working with women entrepreneurs who are neurodiverse and or who have hidden disorders. And I do this mainly by helping them to find their superpowers and helping them to really figure out how best to use that in their brand and in their business to, first of all, skyrocket their confidence, impact, and revenue, but also to really be happy being their unique selves, so they can grow a business that suits their life, their needs, and their definition of success. So that's me. And I am going to pass over to Leslie.
Hello, ladies. I just love this that we're coming from all over the world. As you can see, I have shoulders bared. I am actually coming to you from Puerto Morelos, Mexico, which is, I absolutely adore this place. It's where I've come alive. For me, for the past 39 years, have been a legal assistant / paralegal. And I recently transitioned into a more part-time role supporting a firm in California. And in that process, it gave me something really valuable, which is time freedom, meaning I get to design my day. In fact, I wake up every day and I try to instill this mindset into people to wake up every day knowing that every single day is a gift to wake up into, to open your eyes, take your first breath, and you get to design it. And so for me, that is how I lead from every single morning when I wake up. It's a beautiful day. It's a Monday. And most times in the past, I used to dread Mondays. But now I look forward to every single day because I get to design it my way. And so I'm a mindset and emotional awareness coach. And what I usually do is work with my clients around mindset and emotional triggers and learning how their trigger moments show up in how they are emotionally feeling about specific things. And so we take a deeper dive because usually it started somewhere and it had a different trigger, but the emotion became very heightened and they took it along with them in life. And it could also be certain beliefs. And so I take my clients through that type of process, but I also wanted to bring more awareness around time freedom because I get to live a lifestyle that wasn't always available to me. And I want to be able to share with other women in the world that it is possible to still have a corporate type job if you are able to manifest it into an online position, and then you can take your love of life on the road like I have and be able to come to people around the world from whatever destination you've chosen. Myself, as I said, I'm in Puerto Morelos, Mexico. You heard from Sarah Martinez, who gets to come to us from beautiful destinations. And of course, one day I'm going to be able to get myself over to Northern Ireland and to Australia to meet up with our ladies over on that side of the world, and then maybe over to see Aileen. You never know. But this is the beauty of being able to work your life, designing your time, because I've adopted this lifestyle through time freedom, which has allowed me to do that, to be able to do the things that I do. And so part of what I love about being in this book anthology is it's a movement that I was waiting for my entire life. I told this to Hannah when we first started talking, and I started realizing that not only was this something where I could have my voice heard in how I've managed to live my life this way, but also realizing that this is a way to inspire young women, women who are older, women who are the same age as I am, and women who are younger, that no matter where you're at in your life today, anything is possible, especially if we band together. I always say hand in hand, heart to heart, soul to soul. When we do it together, we are better because we are so strong and we're resilient and we are worthy and deserving. So I know I could talk forever, but thank you so much, ladies, for letting me be a part of this journey with you. I absolutely adore each and every one of you, and I'm excited for what's next. I'm Leslie, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Leslie. So I think I'm the last one to go. So my name is Hannah Olivas, and I am the co-creator of She Rises Studios, the co-creator of the Becoming an Unstoppable Woman movement and series. I've been doing podcast hosting, TV hosting, 4 times best-selling author, influential speaker. I'm a huge advocate for cancer, bringing that awareness to the world. And I am a serial entrepreneur. And I'm really excited to be here with you all today. So many things were said in this in this live already in terms of who we are and what we do. And we're talking to you today about, being that woman entrepreneur, being that unstoppable woman entrepreneur. And I think each of us have a little something that we want to share with you going into the year 2022. And it's something actually Nicole and I talked about today earlier on a live. And Nicole's my new IG buddy. We had fun today. And, so what I would say to the women who are watching, and these are just some questions that I've been personally asking myself in terms of, we get into a new year, we set up new goals, we do these crazy New Year's resolutions. And I don't know, I'd say statistically speaking, most people don't follow through after the first month. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about today. Those who are watching and listening, being an unstoppable woman entrepreneur, number one, that's a long title. Number two, it comes with a lot of responsibilities. And all in all, my biggest question to women, especially with us going into this new year, why wouldn't you want to be an entrepreneur? There's so many amazing factors that go into being a female company owner. We really do have a purpose in this world to rise up and stand out as leaders in the business world. And that is something that you're seeing right here, just with the, 8 of us that are on this screen. We have individually broken barriers in fields where a lot of men or a lot of people wouldn't expect to see us there. And so part of the movement and part of the things that we talk about in She Rises is it's ordinary women who do extraordinary things. And so my question to every woman who is reevaluating themselves, their lives, is consider becoming that unstoppable entrepreneur. Why wouldn't you? It allows you to experience freedom. It allows you to be home and be present with your children, with your families. It allows you to be an unstoppable wife if you're married. Don't get me wrong, because being an entrepreneur also has its tough parts. And we're going to talk to you about some of those today, because it is hard. It's not all easy. We're not here to sell you this, you're going to be a millionaire in 2 days, because truth be told, if you ask any one of us, we've all worked very hard for years to be in the place that we're at today. So if you are considering becoming an entrepreneur, if you are, what motivates you to want to be that entrepreneur? Is it time? Is it money? Is it clout? What is it? And another thing that we've been talking about is, what are you going to do different in 2022 that you haven't done in all the years before? What is going to stand out to you? What is going to rate you, shake you into 2022 to be this unstoppable woman? These are really deep questions that I would encourage everyone to really sit and just kind of ponder on that thought. Like, what do you want for this new year coming up that you have not had? I know for a lot of women, they're tired of being sick and tired. And I know a lot of women have had their toes in and they're not completely sure. They're afraid. And you're looking at a screen of women who all had faith and took the leap. And some of us most of us, really, truth be told, didn't know what we were doing. But we knew we had a passion, we knew we had a purpose, and we had our why. And that is part of being an entrepreneur, is stepping out in that faith. And our story, mine and Adriana's, is that. I mean, we're mother-daughter, and we're just making jokes about, you know what, we want to have an Instagram page and we want to empower others. And, here we are a little over a year, and we have one of the top women podcasts. We have a book series. We hit bestseller. We've done so much in just a little over a year. And then we got to expand our team and bring Nicole in because we're growing like crazy. And I'm just here to tell you that you have to believe in yourself. You have to step out in that faith. You have to trust the journey. You have to trust yourself. Embrace all those good qualities that are within you. Stop hiding them from the world, because we need them. All of us do. And then I think I want women to realize one thing. If you're an entrepreneur, you are 100% your own accountability partner. You are the person, good, bad, sunny, rainy, whatever it is, you are the one that has to give yourself that swift kick in the booty to get up every single day and work smarter, not harder. But you are the one, you have to hold yourself accountable. So you got to have some muscles to be able to do that on a day-to-day basis. And you know how you get those muscles? You develop it, you practice it, it's your mindset, but you also lean into your tribe, your sisterhood tribe, your business besties, whatever we're calling them these days. But all in all, you're the one and only person who can do it, and hold yourself accountable. And my last tip is, whatever you're considering, write it down. Write everything down. Everything that you have up here, that you imagine, how it feels, how it smells, what you see the end result being, whatever that goal is, from the smallest to the biggest, you design it, you create it. And then the next thing you do is you live it, and you live it hard, and you live it without limits. So those are my little nuggets for today. Thank you for letting me share, and we'll go back around and hear what everybody else has to say.
Oh man, okay, I'll go real quick just in case I have to hop off. So a couple of things I just wanted to, I guess, mention, or some of the things that I use without maybe even really realizing it as I was growing up. I didn't always ask for permission to do something. I just went and did it because it's what I knew was right. Now, obviously, it doesn't mean I went out there and did, I was a rebellious child or whatnot. But I set my own standard. I made sure that if it was something I wanted, I went and I got it. I didn't wait for it to come to me. So if you are starting something new, or if you are stuck, do not wait for someone to come and save you. You got to save yourself. You got to make the move that you've been afraid to make and just go do it. If you mess up, it's okay. You can start back over. But you just don't be afraid. Another thing that I've noticed that I've done, whether it's for business or not, I do something what I call filtering. So if I get some opinions from people or feedback that maybe I didn't even ask for, but someone decided to tell me something, I filter it. I leave back the negativity and take the positive, turn it to something good, because there's so much negativity in the world that you don't have the time and the space and the capacity to hold on to all that bad stuff. You got to let it go. Don't let it consume you. Don't let it stop you. It's easy to fall in this, depression states, because it feels like you don't have a support system all the time. And that's okay if you don't have that, right by your side. You do have it somewhere. You just haven't found it yet. So filter out the bad and keep the good. Another thing I would say is just embrace what it is that you have that's special, because that's what's going to make you different from the rest. So whether that's your voice, whether that's something that you're really talented at, or maybe you're even someone who's just great with facilitating those things. If you're just like awesome at that, that's your thing, that's your niche. So you gotta own it, use it, and team up with the people that share their strengths or your weaknesses. So that's what I have to share today. And let's see, I'll go back to Eileen since that's who I picked next.
Okay. And I think it's good that I'm also one of the first, because I'm in the earlier stages. And so I'm like a baby learning to crawl, learning to stand, not yet up and running. And it's okay. My main message to the listeners, to the viewers, is that it's okay to be wherever you are. If you feel you're not moving along as fast as the other people who started with you, that's okay, because every flower blooms in its own time, and every flower is beautiful in its own way. And that's how we should view it. It's not a competition. We're competing against ourselves, who we were yesterday. We try to be better than that today. That's what I'm doing. Sometimes I get held back. I have my own difficulties, my own challenges, but the important thing is not to give up and to just dust yourself off again when you can and get back in the running. And also, I wanted to tell people that it's okay to feel that you're not yet ready to take the leap of faith now. But if you really feel inclined to be an entrepreneur and to take that leap, then start making plans now. I understand some people need to save money to be able to quit a full time job and turn it part time. Some people need to maybe have their spouse gainfully employed first before they can cut back on their hours. We all have different struggles, and it's okay. If the time is not now, embrace it, but keep making plans, keep dreaming. The important thing is not to let go of the goal, not to let go of the dream. And the timing will come as long as you haven't given up, as long as you're still doing your best. I had to wait some time before I was mentally prepared to take my own leap of faith. I have known for a while, but I wasn't ready then and there. It took a while. And I think that's okay, because if I had jumped the gun, I might have, retreated back, gotten scared at the first sign of rejection or, judgment. So you know yourself best. No matter what we all say here, our journeys are different and no two paths are the same. So also filter what we say. Take what works for you and just keep in mind what doesn't, because it might work for your friends and you can advise it to them later on. Oh, I watched this girl on this podcast. I think you're on the same trajectory as her, but I'm not. So that's okay. So my main message and what I want to leave with you is embrace where you are, even if you feel you're not doing well, but don't stay down if you feel you're down. Or if you feel there's still a long way to go up, keep climbing up, even if it's slow, one step at a time, one day at a time. That's what I'm doing. I've told my clients that I practice what I preach, I walk the talk. And to complement what Adriana said earlier, I often tell them if they say something you don't like, well, in one ear, out the other. Just like that. Dust it off, shake it off, drink water or take a bath, or chime your Tibetan singing bowl or hold your crystals and dust it off. Of course, we send them blessings. They likely mean well or they have a different context, but we don't need to believe what everyone else says about us and our path. So again, embrace your path. I am embracing mine, and maybe later on we'll get to talk about our journeys, where we are, and maybe this baby in business will later on be a toddler and maybe, as grown up as my sisters over here. I'd like to pass on this time to, oh, how about Leslie?
Wow, I wasn't expecting so quick, but thank you, Aileen. I love you. I love the journey that you're on. I have to say, it's amazing to hear how eloquently you describe your journey and what you are looking for, and you are okay and owning where you're at and not making it wrong and not, allowing yourself to take the baby steps if necessary. And so I think that's really important for people to realize that it's not anyone else's journey but your own. Your journey is different from mine. My journey is different from Hannah's. Hannah's journey is different from Jennifer, and so forth, right? That's how life goes. And if we all can embrace that, it's really important, because as Hannah was saying, being an unstoppable woman doesn't mean, it doesn't mean that unstoppable means that you're going to have an amazing life that's just going to be easy, easy, easy. Because if that was the case, everyone would have an easy peasy life, right? It's not about making that New Year's resolution. As Hannah said, usually in the first 6 weeks, most resolutions, people that make those resolutions usually drop off, and then they just forget about it and they feel defeated. And it's really about making that decision to live your life for you. So I love that, Aileen, that you are deciding that you're living your life for you and you're taking those steps. And as I said, it's not always going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of grit. We all know that, all of us ladies here. It's going to take a lot of grace, and especially extending it to yourself in those moments when you feel like you can't do the things that you want to do in the moment and you start to beat yourself up for it, but extend yourself some grace because we're human. It takes a lot of self-love. I believe that when you love yourself wholly, you'll be able to come from that place of love and learning to believe in yourself. It does take surrounding yourself with women like this, other unstoppable women who have your back, because again, we embrace this whole movement, the meaning behind the movement, and we support each other. No matter where we are, we show up for each other where we're at. So I would encourage you to focus on, what you want for your life. Like, focus on the solutions to the things that you want for your life, not the obstacles, because they're always going to be there. Obstacles are always going to be in your way. But if you can focus on the pathway through, even if it's only the smallest sliver of light at the end of the tunnel, that's still a beacon for you to find your way. Maybe learn to give yourself a high five every morning, telling yourself you're worthy and deserving. I do that every morning, by the way, and I got that from Mel Robbins. So I cannot own that as my own, but I love it because I give myself a pep talk every morning in front of my mirror and I high five myself. I want you to follow the road that best suits you. And I like to call it my yellow brick road experience, because that's what I did. I started thinking about, like Dorothy, what did she do, right? She knew she had to make a decision to either stay on course or get off course. So she had to make a decision. And I, like Dorothy, made that decision. I didn't know at the time all the answers. I didn't have all of the plans for where I wanted to be with my life, but I knew the answers were within me. And that all I had to do was look for the right questions to find the right answers. Again, looking for the solutions. One of the things I like to say is that our destination is in our journey, and our journey's always evolving. And when you allow yourself to be open and accepting of change and accept that pivoting may be part of your process, you're allowing yourself to step into the greatest adventure of your life. I promise you, you will step into the greatest adventure of your life. And what you thought was a picture of your life could be so much bigger. Again, like I said, I'm living a nomadic lifestyle that I never knew was possible for me. But when you allow yourself to accept and be open to things coming to you, your life could be so much bigger than you ever imagined, because it keeps growing. And it's allowing yourself to get into the story of you. And it comes down to you and what you want for your life. And so you can choose to crush those fears by giving yourself permission to step outside your comfort zone. Like Aileen said, being able to recognize where she needs to, like, maybe pull on support from us or her peers, her tribe currently located near her, or us, all of us, to band around each other. And she's learning to take a giant leap of faith, just like I am, being in this community of women, into the unknown realm of possibilities and allowing ourselves to enjoy the experience of life. Because you can stay in that known zone of safety, which means nothing will ever change, or you can allow yourself to dream big and go for it and really, really step into your own version of your yellow brick road and start following your dreams. And all it takes is just a little bit of courage with a little bit of faith sprinkled in, faith and trust that you can do it because you believe in you. And that's what, to me, really embodies an unstoppable woman, when she has these moments where she realizes, I can do it. I believe in myself, and I have these women in my life who support me. And that's what I got from becoming part of this tribe. Like, it means so much to me. I'm starting to get really emotional about it, but it does. It really makes a difference when you have a community where women truly believe that we are better together instead of apart. And we can empower each other to be our best selves and to have that life that we want. So thank you again, ladies. I love all of you so much. And I hope that this resonates with you, that if you want more for your life, all you have to do is look in the mirror, tell yourself that you got this, give yourself a high five, and then go for it. And I guess I will pass that on.
Thank you, Leslie.
Yeah, you're welcome. I think I'll pass the mic over to Jennifer.
Why, thank you. So, I could go on and talk and give oodles and oodles and oodles of tips and hard-won tips at that in some instances, right? But I'll to sort of keep it short and sweet, we'll go with grit, grace, and guts. So grit, you have to have the grit. And it is about working smarter, but you have to also realize it's always hard work in one way or another. And you have to put in the hard work, or if you're not prepared to put in the hard work, just honestly, I would say don't bother. Maybe some would say that's negative, but I think it's very real. You have to be prepared to put in the work. And anybody who tells you it's easy is full of beans, right? I'll keep it G-rated. So yes, you have to have the grit to keep going. Things will go wrong. Launches will fail. Products won't go as well as you thought. You won't get as many people in your Facebook group. Your challenges will be empty. You won't write the world's best, social post and things of that nature. But your business will continue as long as you keep going. You can always pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and go on. But you have to give your time, of course, space to lick your wounds and do all that, but keep going. Have that grit. So then grace, you have to have grace. You have to have grace to give yourself, that space, as I mentioned, to when things do go wrong, to say, not be so hard on yourself and not taking it personally and not beat yourself up over and over and over again. We learn best in business, as often we do in life, by making mistakes, by trial and error. Most people anyway, who are anywhere on down the line in their businesses and have any kind of success that they're happy with, have made lots of mistakes. So, give yourself that space, give yourself that grace. Also, have grace when you win and when you're doing really well, not to rub it in the faces of other people who are maybe struggling in their business at the time. Have the grace to help others, along their journey, to lift them up when maybe they need it, to give that bit of advice when they need it. And just have that grace in general in your business, because it will stand you on down the road much, in a lot of great ways as you build relationships and everything else. So that takes us to guts. Have guts to go after what you want. Have guts to live your life and your business on purpose. Have your guts to build your business in a way that suits you. Toss the cookie cutter out the window. We only use that maybe for baking, or you can freestyle those biscuits as well if you want, of course. But we don't need a cookie cutter approach when we're building our business. Not in our strategies, not in how we build our brand, and certainly not how we're building our business inside and out. Build a business to suit you, your life, your definition of success. You're the one who has to run it. You're the one who's going to live with it. You're the one who breathes it day in and day out. So those would be sort of my top 3 tips as you think about either going into business and starting your own business, or as you grow your business. And I will pass over to Natalie. Thank you.
Passing back the torch. Thank you so much. So awesome listening to everybody's tips, and it's always hard to narrow it down just into a few minutes as well. I am a speaker as well, and I do workshops, half days and full days workshops on some of these topics. So sometimes once I get started, I can talk for hours. As I mentioned, business is one of my passions. Couple of things. In my goal setting workshop, I say to people, if you write out your goals and they just make you feel tired, then they're not the right goals for you. So we talk about that. I agree with everything everybody said, and grit is one of the things that I think we nail down as an entrepreneur, that's really something that you need to succeed. But it's so important that we take time to get in alignment about what is important to us. And sometimes when something has failed, we've all shared little stories about when something hasn't worked out. The working hard is part of it, but it's not how I used to think. You just keep pushing through, and that's kind of like banging your head against a wall, and that can be really painful, gives you a nasty headache. So instead of doing that, it's taking time to reset and get in alignment. It's, as you all said, it's not beating yourself up. It's like, well, that didn't work. but how could I do it differently? And I often say it's often easier to go around a barrier than it is to go charging through it. And also a lot of work that I do with clients is they realize the barriers aren't real. Most of the barriers they think are there, they've actually imagined. And once you realize there was an imagined barrier, that's very easy to just step through and keep walking. So that is one of the things about making sure they're the right goals for you, because often we'll do somebody else's course or we'll read something or listen to something like this and think, oh, that's what I need to do, and write out your goals because that's what you thought success was. Like we all need to have 7 figures or 8 figures or 6 figures or 5 figures, whatever it is for you, because somebody told you that's what you needed to do. But when you write it out and you realize to get there is just making you feel tired, particularly if you're a busy mom, wife, partner, whoever you are, that's a lot of energy. And I just say in business, your energy is actually your most important resource. And if you work to a point where you've got none left, and if you do that over a long period of time, and I know because I did it, you will burn out. And it's very hard to get that resource back. So one of my best tips is that energy is your best resource, and you need to nurture and protect that every day. So like Leslie said, when you get up in the morning, you set the day that you want. If you start the day feeling, oh my God, I'm already exhausted, that's actually going to affect your energy for the day. So go and have a nap, or go and have a walk, or go and have, do a meditation or something. So it is important to take those times to rest and restore. And from that basis, to be successful and scale, you don't need to go to those great heights, but there's a formula. I've multiple businesses. There's a formula. There's definitely formula. There's a procedural aspect to things. But the most important ingredient is going to be your foundations. And one of the most important parts of foundation, if you think of a building needs to have solid foundations in order to be able to grow. The same for your business to scale. The most important part of that foundation is support. And that first part of your support team is you, and knowing how to support yourself is those things about not beating yourself up, love yourself first, be okay with where you're at, as Aileen said as well, because not everyone, you don't need to be where everybody else is. Where you are now is just the perfect place to start. And becoming published for me this year was actually something that I'd wanted to do for years. And I started writing out a chapter years ago, starting out writing chapters and things years ago. And it was interesting talking about readings. I'd had a tarot reading with my tarot reader earlier this year, and she just looked at me and said, wow, you're on an amazing path. And I was doing, one of my businesses, I was doing amazing events and all of those sort of things. So I was really in the zone. And she said to me, it's like you could ask for whatever you want now, and you will have it. She said, it's like, what is it that you haven't let yourself do yet or be yet? And I think that's one of the most amazing things to think about is, what is it that I haven't let myself do or be yet? And for me, enjoying the steps along the way. We think it's the end goal, like I have to get here and then I'll be happy, but it's actually the path. It's these experiences with the co-authors. There's having these amazing adventures. And yes, we hit a bestseller list and that's fabulous, but it's the amazing adventures that we have along the way. And particularly in society, but also in businesses and coaches and everything, we're telling people they need to get here to be happy. And actually the trick is you get happy first and then you will get to where you want to be. And that's what I'll finish on. And that's what I sell and teach and share with Living the Dream. So. Cool. Sarah, you're up.
All right. How amazing, ladies. And I love seeing the synergy in a lot of our messages. And I'm so glad that so many of you shared more than one tip, because I was sitting here going, how am I going to pick just one? So first, my favorite song right now that gets me pumped up, it's called Footprints on the Moon, and it's by Gabby Barrett. And one of the lyrics is, everybody says that you can't until you do. And so when you really think about that lyric, it's so true. And so my big thing is go out and do the damn thing. because it's not about showing people that are saying that you can do it. It's about doing it for you. But it's so powerful for me, and I think for a lot of unstoppable women, because we've all been there. We've all had the person that's like, yeah, whatever, they're not going to do it, or they're projecting their own limiting beliefs on you. And it's not about showing them that they're wrong. It's about actually just doing it for yourself. So I love that song. It gets me pumped. If you guys don't know it, I encourage you to listen to it. But just go do the damn thing. So that's my first tip. My second one is reflection. And a couple of the other ladies talked about this. And so I want to just reiterate that. Really reflect. If you're thinking about starting a business, if you are in your business and you're scaling, or if you're in your business and you're unhappy, take time to reflect and really get in alignment. This again comes to being a business owner. You get to create what that looks like for you. So I will not say that I have completely let go of all of the limiting beliefs that I have. They pop up still on a regular basis. I travel half of the month most of the time. I have a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old. I have limiting beliefs pop up on a regular basis of I'm doing the wrong thing because society tells me I am. But if you are in business or considering getting into business, I want you to really take time to question those social norms and those social beliefs and find out what is yours and what's not. And then create your business with that in mind, because it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks as long as you are happy. And as long as you're creating the impact in the world that you are here to create. And again, like Natalie said, like that doesn't necessarily mean a certain amount of money, because guess what? One person could make, whatever, 200 grand a year and be happy and totally fine and making the impact that they want. And another person could do 50 grand a year and be making the same amount of impact that they want to make, but in a different way. And so don't let society tell you what is successful, what's not successful, because every single person is different. And my third tip is, no matter where you're at in business, if you are offering a service, if you are a coach, always have that same service that you're offering. Like, okay, let me just use an example because it'll be easier for me. So I'm a retreat specialist, right? So it would be really weird if I managed retreats and did retreats, but never went on retreat for myself, right? Like, wouldn't you be like, oh, well, like she believes in this, but she's not actually doing it for herself? That's kind of weird. So like, if you're a spiritual coach, you should have a spiritual coach, right? If you're a business coach, you should have a business coach. So that's one of my tips, is that I believe as you get into business, whatever you are teaching, obviously you believe in it. So have that be a part of what you're investing in as a business owner as well. So that is what I have for you guys tonight.
Wow. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, ladies. You literally just, for those watching and those that are going to watch the replay, you just had some major nuggets, major gifts. This is a Christmas gift to all of you from all of us. And every single one of these women are incredible, phenomenal women, but they're unstoppable women. They're unstoppable women entrepreneurs. And it's so exciting to watch these beautiful faces smile and speak to the world, and for us to be able to do this, and this is the blessing of virtuality, is that we can reach women wherever they are. So thank you so much for each one of you sharing with us today. And, I encourage everyone who listened or who's going to watch the replay to really check these ladies out and check out the book. You can find them in our She Rises community Facebook. You can also find each one of these beautiful faces in the book itself. So if you order the book, you get to meet the authors. And, we are going to continue to do lives up until, I believe it's December 29th. And, you're going to see just so many things happening, so many amazing, wonderful opportunities that are coming about from these women. And, we're just grateful to be here today. So thank you to each one of you ladies who came and showed up today and shared, and, just keep going. And like you said, Jen, I think you said it well when you said, grits, guts, grace. you know, and you have to have a little bit of all of that, the faith, and just to persevere. You know, when you get knocked down, you got to get back up. That's unstoppable. That's unstoppable. When you get knocked down more than once, over and over, and you get back up, that's unstoppable. And that's what the movement is. That's what we are. And that's what we want to continue to be. So thank you for tuning in. We will be back here again, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day or evening or afternoon, wherever you are. I will drop a little side thing. She Rises will soon be across the globe into UK and Northern Ireland, but that's for another beautiful announcement. But thank you, ladies. It was great to see all of you, and we will see you soon.